So thank you both for being here. My name is Stephanie from Open Love Radio, and today I'm interviewing David Simmons and Tracy Badger. Can you please tell us a little bit about yourselves and your music?
Tracy, why don't you go first?
All right. Hi, Stephanie. Thank you so much for having us on your show. We appreciate this. This is exciting. I'm in a little town called Benton, Kentucky. I'm not from here, but I've been here for, I don't know, the last 13 years. And I started playing guitar when I was 11, and I'm in my 60s. So I've been doing this for a long time and writing music as well as doing covers and doing a lot of different venues. I sang and played professionally for many years. The best part about this, for me anyway, is meeting people like David Simmons, who is absolutely fabulous musician. And we have one CD together under our belts, and we've got the second one in the works right now. David's in Ohio, so it's a little bit of a distance for me. It's 5-hour drive, which is not bad. But you know, we have to take that into consideration. And I'm not very technical. I'm not technically savvy at all. Where David's studio is in his home, and he just says, "Well, we can work on these tracks together." And I'm like, "Nope." I have trouble just doing my own little videos to put on YouTube or Facebook. So I make the journey there to work in his studio. But this has been the highlight of my career, working with somebody of his caliber. Absolutely.
And thank you for all that nice stuff I wrote
Is
for
my
you
check in the
today.
mail?
I grew up in a musical family. My dad was a professional guitarist. He played many years. I think he started when he was 5, and he bought me my first guitar when I was 5. My hero has always been Chet Atkins. Um, so I remember as a kid sitting and listening to Chet Atkins albums and backing them up and just wearing out records, trying to figure out what he was doing. And made my first, of course, it was kind of pre-CDs. It was a album, or actually a cassette tape, professionally when I was about 18 or 19. Since then, I probably have close to 40 instrumental CDs out.
I'm impressed.
Latest one being, well, the second to the latest one was Tracy and I's duet CD, August Heart, which is also the name of our group. And we had it was a tremendous time making that. I
Absolutely.
collect guitars and
Thank you. And so, David, you mentioned that Chet Atkins was one of your musicians who influenced you. Were there any other musicians that influenced you?
yes, Johnny Smith, great influence. Martin Taylor, great influence. Um, Hank Garland. I love anybody that can really improvise and play from the heart. And I guess that's one of the great things about Tracy as a writer. Her writing skills is and playing comes from the heart, and I think that's where music needs to start and come from to touch the listeners.
Absolutely. My background was maybe a little different. My father was a very talented, but I didn't have a supportive family the way David did. He was very lucky in that respect. But I grew up listening to a lot of classical music. So it was Beethoven, Rachmaninoff, Chopin, Mahler, some pretty serious stuff, a lot of opera. And I think maybe listening to a lot of the opera for me is what got me interested in listening more to vocals, but in a different venue, not just classical. But I did go to school for music, and I trained as an opera singer, but I didn't go into it, obviously. I was also listening to people like James Taylor and Laura Nyro and Burt Bacharach. So I ended up going into the pop segment of things. So my background's a little different from David's, but somehow the two of us managed to get our styles to mesh a little bit well enough. And he's great at improvisation. I'm not, but I can pick up and play a James Taylor song or do Van Morrison's Moon Dance, and David's right there. But then he'll turn around and do a Chet Atkins tune, and I'm 3 miles away from him trying to catch up. So, but it's fun. I mean, it's all about the learning and the sharing too.
Do you write pop music mostly, Tracy, or do you write other genres as well?
No, and it's hard for me to actually say what genre of music I write. It's kind of a jazz blues, but it really doesn't fit in that category either. It's rather meditative. So if you were going in to have a nice spa treatment, you would want to listen to Tracy Badger on guitar because it'll put you to sleep. But it's pretty stuff. I'll give myself a little bit of credit there, that for as long as I've been at it, I've been able to accomplish a couple of things, and that's writing some pretty stuff. But it's not everyone's cup of tea either. It's not real upbeat, and it's not, well, let's just say, the records aren't flying off the shelves. But, that's okay. I'm happy with what I do. I'm successful at it. I've accomplished it, but I'm still learning, and I'm happy about that. There's always learning to be done. And I'm certainly learning from David.
David, what about you? What genres do you write?
I guess the genres that I write is, if you were to take a little bit of classical, a little bit of jazz, a little bit of country, and throw it in a bag and shake it up, and what comes out. But I don't write words. I just write instrumentals. And I've written a few pieces. As a matter of fact, I wrote one a couple of days ago. It was a snappy jazz piece. I wrote it and called it Tracy's Place because she likes jazz really well. But she's taken some of my instrumentals and put words to them and made them good. I'm not the greatest writer in the world.
Well, I'm terrible with lyrics myself. I struggle. But the right thing is going on in my head, and it's kind of like, think about what this song is saying, what is he conveying, and how he's playing it. And it's kind of like pick a topic. And typically it's love, Stephanie, because I think everybody writes about love, whether it's good, bad, or ugly, or all three of the above. So you can't go wrong with that. But David's writing is, oh man, I tell you what, he doesn't give himself credit.
How long have the two of you been writing together?
About a year and a half.
Year and a half, yeah, not very long. But it's we've got some good tunes that we've written together. It just amazes me. So I'm looking forward to, the sky is the limit. So, and even then, it's not really the limit. So if working with somebody like him, anything is possible.
Thank you. And for the both of you, how do you write your music? What is your creative process?
With me, I'll just sit down and it just kind of pops into my head. I'll just noodle a little bit, and then the next thing you know, I'm turning my noodling into some melody.
Yeah, that works out nicely too. I guess I kind of do the same thing, and it just depends on a little bit of, if it's a really happy time in my life, I can write about that. If it's a sad time in my life, I can write about that. It's a good stress reliever as well. It's like anyone writing a book or drawing or painting. It's your expression, and it's how you get that across. And it's very cathartic. It's very therapeutic. But like David, if I start noodling on a guitar and I write a lot in open tunings where it's not standard E on the guitar, I'll do D, I'll do G, I'll do a C tuning. And that's some just beautiful stuff. And that just, it's like, wow, where can I go with this? So the more I experiment with it, then boom, little riffs, they all start falling into place. And if the lyrics are there, great. If not, then it's an instrumental. And either way, it works out. David said he's not a good lyricist. I'm not either. I struggle. I
would disagree with that. I think you are incredible at lyrics.
It takes weeks for me to get it written. It doesn't come overnight. Some people write easily. I don't. But thank you, David. Your check's in the mail.
Would you guys like to play something?
Yeah, you know a little bit more of the history of this song. So while I'm pulling it up, why don't you tell her the history?
Which one are you? Oh, okay. Which one are you doing, David?
Vincent.
Oh, this is Don McLean's. And I know you know this, Stephanie. Everybody is very familiar with this. When did he write this? Back in 1974. Don't quote me on that. But of course, it's a tune about Vincent van Gogh and all of his issues and failures in life and love. And it's just a tune. I think David started playing it because he had done it a long time ago instrumentally. And I had done it a long time ago as a vocal. And the last time I was there working on the CD project together, it was last month, we both just kind of started noodling with it. And bingo, let's do this. So we learned it real quick, relearned it, and videoed it. And it's just an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous tune. And there we are.
Flaming flowers that brightly blaze, swirling clouds and violet haze reflect in Vincent's eyes of china blue, colors changing hue, morning fields of amber grain, weathered faces lined in pain are soothed beneath the artist's loving hand. Now I understand what you tried to say to me, and how you suffered for your sanity, how you tried to set them free. They did not listen, they did not know how. Perhaps they listen now, for they could not love you. starry night, you took your life as lovers often do. But I could have told you, Vincent, this world was never meant for one as beautiful as you. Starry, starry night, portraits hung empty halls, frameless heads on nameless walls, with eyes that watch the world and can't forget, like the strangers that you met. The ragged men, ragged clothes, the silver thorn, a bloody rose, lie crushed and broken on the virgin snow. Now I think I know what you tried to say to me, how you suffered for your sanity, how you tried to set them free. They would not listen, they're not listening still. Perhaps they never will.
That was beautiful. Tracy, you have a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
That was so nice. So, what challenges have the both of you faced in songwriting?
You wanna
What's that? What, David?
I'll let you go first.
Just trying to get a song written. I guess I've never really had a deadline to get something done, but it's frustrating sometimes. Just you've got an idea and it just isn't gelling. It's whether it's vocal or lyrics or getting it out onto the guitar. And as a songwriter, people, if you're unknown, people don't take you seriously. You're just somebody, oh, well, yeah, they play and they sing and they write music. Next subject, people don't really care unless you are somebody. And that was never my intention to be somebody. I do what I do, and I hope I reach people and I hope my music touches people. But if it gets challenging, if it gets that bad, I take a day off from it, because you do have to step back from it.
I would say one of my biggest challenges was trying to get into different genres than what I originally learned, where I originally was obsessed with Chet Atkins, and everything I wrote was in that style. And I realized, hey, I need to broaden my horizons and learn to play a lot of other genres and a lot of other styles, and staying away from the original style, which I still love and I still love to play, but staying away from that in everything I write was probably one of my biggest challenges.
Yeah. I think it's hard to step out of your comfort zone. I know it is for me. So I agree with David on that too, just trying to write and learn music in other genres. You've got to expand your horizons and step out of that comfort zone. That's not easy.
Do you feel that when you did step out of your comfort zone, it ended up being more beneficial to you?
It can, yes. It all depends on the song itself. But yes, you know, I mean, because there's always growth. So absolutely, anything I can do to better my songwriting skills, my playing skills, my singing skills, absolutely.
Yeah, I would
I
agree.
kind of like sitting, you know, back and relaxing and doing what I like, feel most comfortable with. I'm sorry, David, what?
I just said, yeah, I agree, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I think all musicians tend to do that. We're comfortable in our local areas and, well, let's write 10 more of the same thing in different keys, maybe.
So, what do you both wish you had known when you were first starting out?
I'm sorry, Stephanie, what was that?
Sorry. What do you both wish you had known when you were first starting out writing music?
I don't know, David, what do you think?
I wished I had known more theory about music. I was probably in my 20s before I started learning theory. And if I had known musical theory, it would have been a lot easier transition going into different styles and different uh, ways of playing. I just wanted to play, and so I just learned the song. And one person said I wanted the chocolate cake of music. I didn't want the asparagus. So I wished I'd ate my vegetables.
That's good. Yeah, I agree with you there. Theory was difficult for me to learn. And I know David worked hard and I worked very hard. I wish I had worked harder. But we've all got our day jobs and we all had to do that too to pay the bills. I wish I had just had a little bit more ambition and less fear to get myself out there. And I should have run away from home when I was 16, to tell you the truth, because I wasn't coming, I didn't have emotional support at home. And I knew even at a very early age, I wanted to be a professional musician. And I wish I had had the guts to get out there and do it more. And instead it's a scary thing, especially for a female. So I don't know. If I had to do it all over again, yeah, I would do things differently.
Thank you. And what have been your accomplishments so far as songwriter?
I don't know about songwriting, but the accomplishments that I've had, I've got to play at some really interesting places. I've been a featured performer at the Chet Atkins Appreciation Society on their anniversary, their 35th anniversary. I was a guest performer. Gotten to do a lot of CDs. I've got to know a lot of really top-notch musicians. Because of Tracy, I got to know Martin Taylor, who's a world-class jazz guitarist, very famous. And I've gotten to do quite a few instrumental CDs, and I've played on a lot of other people's CDs, and I've produced a lot of CDs. So those would be my accomplishments.
And you've done very well with that, David. Absolutely. I haven't done my life has been a little bit different than David's, but my accomplishments are, I give myself a little bit of credit for being a semi-decent songwriter and playing decently. So it's like I said, it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I hope it's interesting enough, and I hope people appreciate the talent that's behind it. I feel very accomplished with that and very happy with that. And meeting David and being able to present to him my original tunes, and he's the one that just says, wow, that's pretty good. Let's do this with it. Let's put some other music behind it. And then that just blows me away to hear other bands, other instruments behind what I've written just on guitar and vocal. So that's pretty exciting for me, and I'm pleased, absolutely pleased with our collaboration. We've got a lot more.
And it sounds like the both of you are enjoying the journey.
Absolutely. We both love what we do. We're both passionate about it. And I think that's half the battle right there too. If you're not, then you're in the wrong business. Go, you know, shovel cow manure or do whatever it is that makes you happy. That's fine. But we're both, you know, we've done this a long time. So it's taken a, you know, different direction for both of us, hasn't it, David?
Yeah, very much so.
It's been very enjoyable. Absolutely enjoyable.
Would you guys like to play another song?
Yeah, I can see if I can pull one up.
Can you get me a Monte on there? Or Naomi?
I'm not able to get another one to come up. Sorry about that.
Can he send
That's okay. So what is coming up for you in the near future for the both of you?
We're doing we've done a couple of gigs recently and trying to do more of playing out. We're working on a CD now of Tracy's original. And then we also have another one on the horizon of cover tunes. And so a lot of recording and hopefully some more gigs together. The biggest obstacle is the 5.5 hour drive for Tracy to get here to the studio.
But you also live in the area where the gigs are available. Where I live, you know, it's not possible. So there's not a lot of what we do. There's not a lot of demand for it in this part of Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
So it works. You're in a more cosmopolitan, metropolitan area. You're in a large city, outside of a large city. So options are plentiful.
Yeah.
Tracy, do you do a lot of online performances? How do you get your music heard?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that.
How do you get your music heard? Do you do a lot of online performances, or are you going to music festivals too?
Oh, you mean like live streaming? Live streaming, yeah. Yeah, we did both, but that was kind of new for both of us. So there are a couple technical issues with the live streaming. But I think when I go back this next time to finish up the CD, we may live stream a performance, but we'll do it from David's house, where we're a little bit more comfortable, and we can afford to make some mistakes and be able to laugh with people and not worry about it. It's a little, the pressure's not on us as it is when you're actually playing at a restaurant or a lounge or a bar. You know, I mean, everyone wants it to be right. You want it to be perfect and you want it to be good and enjoyable, but it's different. I think the setting, if we just do this from your home, David, you and Kimberly's home, it'll be more relaxed for everybody. So yeah, we'll keep at it, definitely.
How can we support the both of you?
Okay, David. Well, we have to keep in touch with you and let you know when we're doing that next live stream gig from his house or from wherever. But we're both on Facebook. We're both on YouTube.
Yeah, and I'd be happy to send you any of our stuff, and if it could be played or whatever, that would be very helpful.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
What advice could you give to an emerging songwriter?
I would give advice. I have two things that I tell young players or young musicians that's coming up. The first one is fight mediocrity tooth and nail. And you get out of it what you put in it. There's no shortcuts. And if you want to go far, then you got to put a lot of work in it. But when you love it, it's not work.
That's right.
My advice.
Yeah. Well, I agree with David there too, but I would also add to that just if it's your passion and your love and your desire, do it, and do not listen to the naysayers, because you'll get more of those than you'll get support. So just overlook that and keep moving forward and do your thing and practice hard.
So is there anything else that the two of you would like to add?
Well, I really appreciate that you had us here,
So do I.
and I read some of your bio, and you're a very, very impressive person, and it's been an honor to get to meet you.
Absolutely, Stephanie. We've enjoyed this immensely. Thank you for having us.
Thank you both, Tracy and David, for being here. It's a pleasure to meet the both of you. And to everyone that's interviewed in the Hope and Love radio station today at 3 o'clock in PST. We'll also be on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram. I hope everybody has a wonderful day and talk soon. Take care.